calling the office of Congresswoman Catherine Clark. We value hearing from you and remain eager to assist. At the tone, please leave the spelling of your name, home address, email address, and phone number along with your message. Thank you for calling.
Hi, my name is Jake Dragelis. I'm a Democratic voter, and I'm calling to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the genocide in Gaza. I'm asking Representative Clark to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage, as well as an arms embargo. Thank you.
Call 1 complete. Connecting you now with Hakeem Jeffries, representative.
Look at the link in the description. You can make these phone calls and possibly affect a little bit of change and get a Palestinian speaker on the main stage at the DNC. Hi, my name is Jake. I'm a Democratic voter. I have a message for Mr. Jeffries. I'd like to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the genocide in Gaza. I'm asking Mr. Jeffries to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage, as well as an arms embargo.
All right, I'll be sure to pass your comment along.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Call 2 complete. Connecting you now with Nancy Pelosi,
It was a little rude.
representative.
I didn't mean to be that rude.
Thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. We value hearing from you. To listen to this menu in English, please stay on the line. Para español, presione 5. If you would like to voice your opinion, share feedback, or pass along a personal story to Congresswoman Pelosi, please press 1. If you are a San Francisco constituent and would like to find out how to email Congresswoman Pelosi, thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. Please leave your name and number, and we will return your call as soon as possible.
Hi, my name is Jake. I'm a Democratic voter, and I'm calling to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the genocide in Gaza. I'm asking Representative Pelosi to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage, as well as an arms embargo. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll see the light on this.
Call 3 complete. Connecting you now with Charles Schumer, Senator. Thank you for calling the Washington, D.C. office of U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer. We are unable to take your call right now. After the tone, please leave your name, number, and a brief message. You may also visit Senator Schumer's website at www.schumer.senate.gov for assistance with a federal agency, to leave a comment, or for information on requesting a tour and other services. Thank you and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Jake. I'm a Democratic voter, and I'm calling to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the genocide in Gaza. I'm asking Representative Schumer to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage, as well as an arms embargo. Thank you. Representative.
Call complete. There are no additional targets to call. Thank you for participating.
Gang, it's just that easy. It's just that easy. There's the script. Logan Hill, it takes less than 5 minutes to call all 4 numbers in the link. Correct. But what are we talking about? Well, gang, let me show you. Talking about this right, John. on the majority report earlier today. They did a bang-up job of showing how we can pressure the DNC to let a Palestinian speaker on the stage. Now, guess what? The stage is already set. The plans are already made. The broadcast is already prepared. It's unlikely that even with all this work that I'm asking you to do, all 5 minutes of it, it's unlikely that we're going to be successful. But you know what is going to happen? A bunch of these offices are going to hear how much you care about Palestine. They're going to hear how much you care about the fact that the U.S. is supporting a genocide. Now, it would be great. It would be great if they actually listen to this. If we got so many calls in over the next hour that they said, look, bump X, we need to get at least one person up there who can say this, that, or the other thing. But that's not the goal here. Not really. The goal here is simply to pressure the DNC. It's rather illustratively not unlike the goal of the protests happening outside. Protests which I have not been afraid to be critical of, let me point out. Amongst us, I'm happy to critique technique because that's sort of what this whole thing is about, the show. But something's better than nothing. A bad technique is better than no technique. At least it's better than no effort. On Wednesday night, that was at 4,000 calls when I last checked. All right. On Wednesday night during the Democratic National Convention, uncommitted delegates and allies were told by the DNC organizers that their request to have a Palestinian American speak from the stage was denied. This answer is unacceptable. The impact of the war on Gaza, fueled by U.S.-made and funded bombs on Palestinians and Palestinian Americans, is urgent and deserves attention on any main stage. Uncommitted delegates made this very reasonable request to the DNC by offering a list of different speakers and proposing that speakers and their speeches would be vetted by convention organizers. But the DNC chose to shut down our voices in an anti-democratic way, claiming there is not one Palestinian speaker they can vet to speak. Pause. Is Rashida Tlaib apparently, Rashida Tlaib isn't good enough for them. Apparently, my representative isn't good enough for the DNC. Never mind that she's a Democrat. Never mind that she's one of the most popular Democrats. Never mind that she is part of the squad, aka the future of the Democratic Party. Never mind that she has been elected and reelected. Never mind that she is one of the most charismatic people in their party. Apparently, Rashida Tlaib is not good enough to speak at the DNC. That's what they told us. Called Democratic leadership and urged them to apply pressure to hashtag Let Palestine Speak at the DNC. Whoopsie doodles. Hashtag Let Palestine Speak at the DNC and create space for a conversation about how we move forward to a ceasefire and not another bomb. When you click the Make the Call button on this page, which you can pull up on your computer by going into the link in the description, when you click the Make the Call button, the system will call your phone and patch you through. Please have your phone ready. when you click the make the call button, yada, yada, yada. Here's a script you can use. Hi, my name is X. I'm a Democratic voter, and I'm calling to express my disgust. I use the word disappointment at the DNC, or that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the U.S. funded bombing in Gaza. I'm asking the representative. I would just say, if you get nervous about what their actual title is, say Mr. or Mrs. Mr. or Mrs. Schumer, Mr. or Mrs. Jeffries, etc., etc., to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage and an arms embargo. The call tool will connect you to the offices of Representative Clark, Representative Pelosi, Representative Jeffries, and Senator Schumer, who are all in leadership positions of the Democratic Party and the DNC. Even if you are not a constituent, you can identify yourself as a Democratic voter. That is what I did. DNC watcher or concerned citizen. You can choose to uncheck these boxes if you want and only call one of them. But why? All you have to do, I should probably not have, well, let's just get myself nice and doxxed. You put in your name, phone number. Let me clear all these fields here. Okay, you put in your name, email address, and phone number. And wait for a call. It's that simple. It's all you have to do. When you get the call, you simply answer it, and they say thank you, and they pass you through to the first name on that list, or whatever, the first name they have available. When you're done with your message to whoever it is you're talking to, you press the star button, and it calls the next one. The goal, again, is not actually to get a speaker on the stage. The goal now is to show these people how much we care. So the question is, do you care? Should they be concerned about you as a voter? Should they give a damn about what your opinion is? You got to answer that for yourself. And then you've got to show them. If the answer is no, if the answer is you are not going to get off your behind, you are not going to make a call, you are at best going to show up on November and vote for whoever it is they say you can vote for, regardless of how they behave. Okay. That's what you choose to be. But you lose your right to complain. You lose your at least for today, you lose your ability to say they're ignoring me. They're not ignoring you if you're not speaking. So, go to the link in the description. Make these phone calls. How's everybody doing? By the way, give me the number to that petition, says my man, Donald James X. That's a link to the majority report. What? No. In source, there's that's the link to the majority report. What you can do underneath it, WYCD has the link. It's that link that says Act New Mode. You know what? I'm going to reverse this. I see. That's actually awkwardly formatted here. Fair enough. Okay. If you refresh the page, I've now reversed the order. The link is in there. And I'll go on the client side. Oh, that's standby. Yep. I just clicked it. It is going to the correct place. So, the link is in the description. Click on it. It'll give you a form to fill out. You give them your name, email address, phone number. Have your phone ready. Our goal is we got 10 people watching. Our goal is for 40 calls. 40 calls. I would very much love it if we can put 40 calls worth of pressure on the Democrats. We just did 4. Yeah, the way I had it when the show first went live, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize they were going to call me that quickly. I thought it would take a few minutes. The the link for the source where I first heard about this, not 2 hours ago, was on was the Majority Report. The correct link was in there, but it was under it. Now I've reversed that. Party decision makers treat her like garbage. Yeah, because she's a decent human being, and the party is run by conservatives right now. That's just facts. But we can still petition. Yeah. Logan Hill with a great point. The stream started 5 minutes ago. That's all the time it takes. It literally is that easy. And something to understand. And by the way, if you've signed up for one of these things, feel free to call in the show while you wait to be called. If you want to do it live, if you want to do the same thing live, you can. You can do what I just did. 1 second. So let me order my thoughts here a little bit. Yeah, if you want to come on the show and read comments, or rather read the script live. Let me remove that. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put the script up on the page here. And I will invite you all to do it. Let me give you a moment to fill that out if you want to. 1 second, I'm going to post the thing, the link to join. If you'd like to make your calls live on WYCD, bada boom. All right. This is a stream about organizing, folks. If we are organized, if we are feeling like making a difference today, this is the script that will be. Oh, this is the script that will be shown. I do apologize. Side note, left past 10 yesterday was one of my favorite left past 10s. I had so much fun. The only thing that I didn't like about it was that Andrea wasn't there. I missed her. But look, let's try to get 40 calls done. By the way, I'm doing the DNC later. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a brief stream before that, because I want to see how much we can rock the boat. Look at how easy the script is. And oh my gosh, if your name is actually X, it's even easier. Hi, my name is X. I'm a Democratic voter. I'm calling to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the genocide in Gaza. I'm asking Senator Schumer to join. See, I'm reliving it as if I had done it right. I'm asking Senator Schumer to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage and an arms embargo. Please help us spread the word by sharing. Oh, excuse me. That last part is irrelevant. It's that first part. It's that script I still need to see the Tim Walz speech from yesterday. Fair. Kind of thinking I might attempt to do an abridged version of the previous day at the DNC races. This might turn into that, but first, I want to give people an opportunity. C-SPAN F corporate media. Well, that's always fair. Public utility. Clip electronic intifada. I don't follow. So, just going to make that offer. If you guys want to inspire others, show others how it's done, and you want to take the calls live, here's what I recommend you do. Come onto the stream or fill out the form. Use the invite link posted at the top of the comments there, pinned in the pinned comment. Come on. Have your cell phone ready on speakerphone. This is assuming you have a webcam. I realize. Sorry, it's just the necessity of things. And yeah, go down the line. Read the script off. It should be a hoot and a half. You know, I just realized something. I might be able to guilt trip some of my friends into doing this. Discord. Enter. Group chat. The people who I am on a show with, who are more famous than me. If anyone has free time, I'm doing a live call in about calling the DNC right now. If you have like 5 minutes and are willing to leave voicemails on speakerphone. Come join me. Oh, mercy me. Yeah, I'm leaving I'm leaving a quick message to see. Oh, well. Donald James X. Hello, my friend.
Hey Jake, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay. Don't mind the funny movement down there. I'm cycling.
Exercising. Yeah. That's perfect. What a I think that's good to show people that it's that easy. You can literally do it while you're at the gym. You can do it while you're on the bus. It's that easy to contact these folks.
Yeah, the problem is I did it already. I already called in. I already left a message. I already left a message. You know.
Well, let me interview you about it real quick. Then, how'd it go? How easy was it?
It was like this. It was really easy. RD's giving me information. They called me right back. They called me right back in a matter of like less than a minute. It seemed.
Oh hell yeah!
Then I left. It took me to. I forget her name, but it's Kathy something office.
Yeah. Hochul, I think.
Was it Kathy Hochul?
I might be wrong. I'll check.
Yeah. And so I left a message there, and I told them this is.
Oh, Catherine Clark.
Catherine Clark. That's who it was. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
So it was easy.
So they called you. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just sorry. I'm just saying it was easy. That's all.
Yeah. shockingly easy, and I can't believe how fast the turnaround is. Literally, like you sign up, and then for me it was like literally 60 seconds later I got a phone call, and I was just like, oh well, I guess we're going live. Here it is. And then just going down the list was as easy as just like read the script, pressed a button, read the script, pressed a button, done.
Yeah, yeah, that's all it was. I mean, they just want your phone number, your email, and stuff like that. So if the goal, I guess the goal is 10,000 calls.
Really? Let me
That's
jump up.
Wasn't that the goal? Of
Yes. The goal is 10,000. The last time I checked, it was 5,000. Let me go back here real quick. 26 minutes ago, it was 4,000 calls had been made. The last time I checked, it was 5,000. Now it is at 6,221.
Wow, it's going
Good
up
God.
fast. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I expect that to happen, and there's no reason why it can't hit 10,000.
Sir.
I mean, there's just no reason why it can't hit 10,000 at least.
Yes.
You know? So
you and I are darn it. I'm trying to be dramatic here. You and I are both part of this right here. Look at that thing creeping up. Let's get it to 10,000, gang. Well, Donald James X, thank you very much for making the call. Before I let you go, I do want to ask some left past 10 things. You were watching last night. How the do I say Alan Day? Allende? What the?
Oh man, I don't know. Okay, look, I know
Right?
Mila. I don't know how to pronounce it right. I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce it right. I'm about to tell you something about Mila. Mila Rezan. I've been seeing her around for a long time, and trust me, she knows her shit.
Yeah, she seemed like I liked it a lot. I'd like to either get her in the audience here or have her like call in, because she did seem like she knows her stuff. And Pink spelled it. Yeah, I was just gonna ask you to do this. Okay, Allende. Boom.
Yeah.
I saw you spell that out in the other one, Pink, and I rehearsed it. And then when I was in front of the camera, I got us scared. Okay, Allende. Thank you, Pink. All right, man. Thank you for calling in. It was awesome talking to you.
It's easy. I encourage other people to call in. Give us some content. Give Jake some content.
Yes. Give me that content.
It's easy. All you gotta do is just, and they call you right back, and you can do it live on stream. Why not?
Beautiful. DJ X, thank you so much.
All right, man. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. Pinkerbell is right. Okay, nope. No, we're back. Okay. Pinkerbell is correct. I'll take that. Oh no. Yeah. It's real, you can be real confident before the camera's on, and then there's that moment where you're like, Alan? Is it Alan Doof? Chatting while working is hard. Yeah. With a lowercase d. Absolutely. Gang, we are asking folks to call in, to urge the DNC to put a Palestinian speaker on the main stage. Now, it's if you're thinking, wait, the DNC's starting in like 3 hours. They're not going to do it. You're right. They're not going to do it. The point is they hear us. The point is they realize how much of a mistake they made in not doing it. The point is they're going to hear all these people calling in and demanding something of them that they know they won't fulfill. And so they will be aware of their fault going forward. They will be looking for opportunities to appease us going forward. Let me tell you about my Black Lives Matter trauma. I call it rather boldly. I saw people going out and trying like hell to make the world a better place. And the trauma of it was not seeing other people getting beaten or arrested. The trauma of it was thinking we'd won and then having nothing change. Nothing at all. Because of that, I have been very keen on nitpicking the strategies that lefties are using to make their voices heard. Not even because I think there was anything wrong with the Black Lives Matter movement. There wasn't. Which, by the way, it's still around because nothing changed. But there isn't anything wrong with the Black Lives Matter movement. But it was just a painful lesson in messaging. We learned through that movement that an even greater level of strategy is sadly necessary. It's apparently not enough just to point out that a tragedy is happening. I say all this because I look at what is happening right now. I look at this this Not Another Bomb campaign with its well, I guess I'm just doing this. I look at this Not Another Bomb campaign with its goal of 10,000 calls. I look at who they are targeting. I look at what they're asking us to say specifically. And in all of this, I see a very practical pressure campaign. I see concentrated fire. I see us targeting directly the people who are the problem. This is good. This is very good. If you're willing to march, you should be willing to make a phone call. If you're willing to complain about your voice, your opinions not being respected, dare I say, you ought to try voicing your opinions, especially to these people who you say don't respect them. Have they ever heard your opinions? Odds are they should know. They should know. And odds are they do know what your opinions are. But can you say you've told them directly? Can you really say that? Can you say, oh no, they do know? Because I told them. Here, now, this stream that you're watching, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to say, I told them. They know. Link in the description. Sign up, make a phone call. Takes 5 minutes of your life. And I don't mean a hypothetical 5 minutes a month from now. I mean from hearing my lips flap into the microphone in this instance, plus 5 minutes, you will be on the other side of having done something good for democracy. It is so easy. Easiest thing in the wide world of sports. I'm going to risk getting demonetized because I'm going to pull up that interview from the Majority Report. We're going to watch a little bit of it. Just an itty bitty bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
employees.
Now, hopefully, let me tell you how well I know the Majority Report, and let me shout out my favorite commenter. It's about an hour after the show ended now, and I bet Christiana is there in the comments. And I bet she's timestamped this already. She hasn't. We got a timestamp for an Emma snort. Caller. Beatles. Oof. Okay.
Employees.
So here's the deal. Normally, Christiana timestamps the show relatively quickly. And she does this in the fun half every single day. She's amazing. Thank you, Christiana. I think her handle is Christiana Gaming.
And the show.
Okay. This is the Majority Report's stream from earlier. This is the interview they did with this fella who, I don't know, I guess put together this website and calling system. Kudos to this group. Kudos to this group. It is that easy. Let's give us some context by playing a little bit of this.
We are back, and we are joined now by Daniel Denver, journalist, host of Jacobin's The Dig radio podcast, author of All American Nativism, How the Bipartisan War on Immigrants Explains Politics as We Know It, and an uncommitted delegate. On another day, we would be having you on to talk a little bit about the immigration framing at the DNC last night. But Daniel, obviously, so thrilled to have you here as an alternate uncommitted delegate. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me and for keeping your focus on this utterly critical issue of putting all the pressure we can on the DNC and the Harris campaign to stop the genocide, ensure a ceasefire, which can only be guaranteed with an arms embargo, stop sending the bombs, and Israel will have to stop bombing. It's pretty simple.
So, yes, exactly. So, Daniel, the news is moving incredibly quickly. Last night, the word came down that the DNC denied the request to have an uncommitted or Palestinian speaker at the convention. This was met by criticisms from AOC, Ilhan Omar, Summer Lee, other members of the squad. This morning, the UAW called on the convention to reverse its decision to feature a Palestinian speaker. What are you hearing on the ground right now? And is there any hope that they can reverse this atrocious decision?
I mean, I always keep my, try to maintain optimism and hope. As Miriam Kaba said, hope is a discipline. So I remain hopeful even if things feel pretty hopeless. I mean, I've got to say, it was a spectacular act of anti-Palestinian racism to allow the family of an Israeli hostage, who obviously are going through hell. But there are 40,000 plus Palestinians dead in Gaza since Israel's begun this genocide. And to refuse any sort of Palestinian presence on the stage, even though the uncommitted leadership is absolutely open to negotiating on who that speaker is, all the speeches here are very heavily vetted. The same would be true for any Palestinian who went up and spoke. But the fact that any Palestinian saying anything at all, the mere presence of a Palestinian human being on the stage at the DNC that's impossible. That's a spectacular evidence of anti-Palestinian racism. Trump has been using the very identity of Palestinian, the national identity of Palestinian, as an epithet. It's clear at this point that many in Democratic Party leadership believe that being Palestinian is an epithet, is an ugly thing, is synonymous with terrorism. It's spectacular anti-Palestinian racism. And as we know with any form of racism, and Abbas said this last night, I believe, when Summer Lee was visiting the sit-in, as Abbas, one of our leaders in Uncommitted, said, racism is a politics that legitimates violence against the people who are subject to that racism. And we're seeing that violence unfold right now with U.S. bombs being used to commit this genocide in Gaza.
It is notable to me that the president of the United States, in my view, is one of the most rabid anti-Palestinian and racists that I can remember in the Democratic Party, and seemingly is continuing to triple, quadruple down on this notion about a ceasefire being around the corner, and the necessity to negotiate a ceasefire. The thing is that if it's so necessary, then you need to do the steps to make.
Okay, so why is this all the way back there? All right, so they're getting into. I didn't set up my stream beforehand. I can't stress. I didn't realize how quick they call you back, and that is a good thing if you're trying to get on with your day. But they're going into now the politics of Joe Biden. Fine, I don't care about the politics of Joe Biden. I truly don't in this context. We're not trying to affect Joe Biden today. You know who we're trying to affect? Nancy Pelosi. We're trying to affect Schumer. We're trying to affect Jeffries. We're trying to get these people who control the Democrats. You want to bet if Pelosi controls the Democrats, Joe Biden will not be president next year. Because Nancy Pelosi said, oh, no, we're not doing this. These are the same people who said, my representative, Rashida Tlaib, she can't talk. We don't like what she has to say. No, listen. She might talk about not killing babies. She might talk about how we're sending weapons to help with a genocide. We can't have that. We don't want to be leftists here in the Democratic Party. You know, the Democrats, the representatives, supposedly, of the left wing. We don't want to hear from a brown person. We don't want to hear from somebody who's got family getting bombed. We don't want to hear from her. She's got to shut up and vote for us. Doesn't that resonate? Call her. Tell her you want to hear from these people, and do so knowing that you won't get your way today. But what you will do is show them what a mistake they have made. What you will do is make bad people nervous, and that feels great. That feels really good. Show them the voters they're pissing off. Show them the political power they're messing with, assuming it's there. Is it there? Because if we don't make these calls, then they made the right call. If we don't make these calls, then Pelosi was right. She had to make a calculation. Do I risk making my NIMBY voters uncomfortable? Is it worth making them have a thought that is unpleasant briefly? She said no. She said it's not worth making the latte crowd uncomfortable. It's not worth breaking their delusion because these other people, they don't matter. They're not a political force that I have to appease. The only political force I care about is the people that usually want to vote Republican. Will definitely vote Republican down ballot. But, maybe this time they're uncomfortable because Trump is uncouth. They I don't want to bother. And this other rabble, these peasants with their loud mouths and their online personalities, whatever they use to dismiss us as a movement. She said to herself, and probably to others in one of those smoke-filled rooms, she said, they're not enough of a political force to concern ourselves with. $6,282 calls have been made. 10,000 is the goal. You could move that bar up. If these people get 10,000 phone calls today saying, you're effing up right now, That's going to change the calculation in Nancy Pelosi's mind. That's going to change the calculation in Hakeem Jeffries' mind. That's going to make him say, these are people that could have been calling voters for us, saying, come out and vote for the Democrats. Instead, they're calling us and saying, you're not very good Democrats, are you? Tamara Chance, hello. I haven't seen this yet. I missed it today. Yeah, I missed a big chunk of it today. I was timestamping left past 10 from last night. Mr. G, hello to you. Here's the deal, gang. There's a link in the description. I'm encouraging you to call I'm encouraging you to call the Democrats who are in charge of the DNC. That's Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Kathleen Clark. I'm going to cut to a call from our wicked political correspondent earlier. I'm going to play that from our wicked political correspondent earlier. I'm going to cut to a call from a person who was in the field for us. Yeah. So you guys can see how easy these calls are. So what you do is you sign up. You give your email address and phone number. They call your phone, and that automatically patches you through to a list, and it just goes down the line, and you just leave 4 voicemails. That's all you have to do. With Hakeem Jeffries, you actually get somebody answering the phone, and that's even easier. Then you just say your message to a live person, and they say thank you, and you say thank you, and then you press the star button. Here's how easy it is. This is wicked correspondent in the field, past Jake.
Thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Kathleen Clark. We value hearing from you and remain eager to assist. At the tone, please leave the spelling of your name, home address, email address, and phone number along with your message. Thank you for calling.
Hi, my name is Jake Dragelis. I'm a Democratic voter, and I'm calling to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the genocide in Gaza. I'm asking Representative Clark to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage, as well as an arms embargo. Thank you.
Call 1 complete. Continue now with Hakeem Jeffries, representative.
Look at the link in the description. You can make these phone calls and possibly affect a little bit of change and get a Palestinian speaker on the main stage at the DNC. It's just that easy. Did it at the top of the show, went down the line. It is very easy to do. Wicked Foxy Dragon, if a group of activists are being investigated for releasing maggots into the food, I can understand why they might not be excited to allow someone from the group to speak. Does Rashida Tlaib not qualify for you? First of all, I haven't heard this maggots story. Second of all, if one group out of a massive group of people that, to be clear, what we're asking for is an end to a genocide, released bugs into food. I don't think that ought to be used as an excuse to silence a legitimate point. I think that's an unfair. Targeting of these folks. If if there's a bunch of Black Lives Matter activists saying, "Hey, Sonia Massey was just killed. She was executed in her home. And there's thousands of them. And of those thousands, multiple thousands, 10 get together and spray paint murderer on a police car, even an unrelated police car, but they still spray paint it. Does it really make sense to you to say, well, these are a bunch of graffiti artists? We shouldn't listen to what they have to say. Now, maybe you're making a point about their ability to do messaging. So you pick someone that can do messaging. This group is asking for a Palestinian, a person who has family in Palestine to speak at the DNC. One person who fits that description is my representative, Rashida Tlaib. I think she ought to be allowed to speak. I think it makes sense to have someone from of Palestinian heritage speak. There is no good reason not to allow that to happen. The reason that they have is not a good one. The reason that they have is they are embarrassed by Democrat policy right now. They're embarrassed, and they should be. It looks bad. This is the hand wave moment that I was talking about. At what point in your politics do you hand wave the well-being of a group of people? At what point are you willing to say, but they don't count? That's how you determine where you are on the scale. And I'm sure if we talk long enough, you will cease hand waving the lives of human beings. But you should really consider the fact that you don't want to hear from them. You should really consider the fact that you don't like how it's harshing the vibes. You're trying to attack everything but the point they're making, and that should tell you a lot about the side you're taking. It is lazy on the DNC's part not to focus on the requested speaker and clear them for speaking. It is lazy on the DNC's part not to focus on the requested speaker and clear them for speaking. I don't really understand. I think it was intentional. I mean, I don't think it. I think they went out of their way to say we are going to have all the messaging on Israel Palestine come from hand-selected group of people that are not Palestinians. But I tell you, if I haven't made it clear, let me say it again. We're not going to be successful today. But the point of today is not actually to get what we're aiming for. That'd be great if they bumped somebody else from tonight's stage and instead said, you know what? It's crazy. It's just crazy that that we're not listening to a Palestinian. Here we go. That's not the point. The point is to show them what a political force they are messing with. It's the same as the uncommitted vote. That was a brilliant campaign. Brilliant campaign. This is that. This is showing them the politics. I fully believe that the uncommitted campaign is why we have Tim Walz. And by the way, how'd that pan out politically? How does listening to a base of people that give a damn about human life, how did that work out? Oh, did it supercharge the campaign? Yes, it did. Trump got into office because people were willing to believe Democrats are liars. They're every bit as bad as Republicans. That's not true. It's only partially true. Democrats are liars. They are not, however, every bit as bad as Republicans. But Trump got into office because it was so hard to tell the two apart. If you are an average person, All you need to do is hear one lie to think they're all lying all the time. So I'm just going to vote based on vibes. Vibes-based voting is how we have lost democracy. We can get this thing back on track. Show these motherfuckers the political forces they are messing with. Are we still at 6282? What happened? This thing was flying up before. Oh, no, never mind. We're at 7,121. Gang. Let's get it done. Let's get to 10,000. Give me 4 more. If you are making these calls and you want to do it live, if you already made the calls or if you want to make the calls live, you want to sign up and do it live, you can use the pinned comment to come do it live. Show other folks how it's done. Foxy, you and I tend to think very similarly. Wicked Foxy Dragon, I'm just saying there could be a reason for not having the speaker. It seems like political suicide not to have the speaker. Yeah, I agree. I think I know their reason. And I think their reason is this. The conversation that a person who has family getting bombed with U.S. weapons will have on stage will make a lot of the voters that the DNC is trying to sway uncomfortable. And I think they did the math in their heads, and they said, we got this group of voters who don't really know a ton about what's going on, who have a certain view of the way things ought to be, and a certain view of what Israel is, and absolutely no idea what the Netanyahu government is. And then we have this group of voters who are going to say uncomfortable things and understand the truth of the genocide and will only be appeased by actual action taken. And actual action that could be used against us. Republicans will twist what is happening into a scary thing. And they did the math and they said that second group is smaller than the first group. And our goal today is to show them they were wrong. Is that, in fact, the second group, the group of people that are paying attention, that watch the news with clear eyes, the people who are willing to look at the number of civilians killed versus the number of anybody who's not a civilian killed. Those people are a political force. But you bring up a good point. I'm sure that the evil isn't thought of as evil in the minds of the people who are carrying it out. I'm sure in their minds it's just them being practical. I'm sure in their minds it is just good politics, or it's just putting on a smooth convention. You're not wrong. If that's your assessment, I think you got it. But I also think we need to show them that's the wrong calculation. That's the calculation the Democrats have made for the last 40 years in some way or another. I'm here, but not for long. Sounds like my time on this earth. Good to see you, Morbius Dragon. Public utility, message received late. Fair. Pinkerbell, they wouldn't even need to bump anyone to squeeze in 5 minutes. Think about how long it went on day one. Yeah. How about this? Cut one of your musical acts. Ooh, I loved all those musical acts. I surely did. I loved seeing Stevie Wonder. That was neat. Kenan Thompson, hilarious. Cut one of the musical acts. Cut one of the songs. When you have a microphone and a live camera, the only other thing you need is 5 minutes. Find 5 minutes. Let a Palestinian on. Have them write down their speech beforehand. Foxy, you brought up a fine point. What if we're concerned about their messaging? Fair. Have them submit their speech beforehand. Have them read that speech. So we know they're not going to call for something that is impractical or disrupts the entire rest of the convention, yada, yada, yada. But put a Palestinian up there to speak the truth. What's with all the buffering? I don't know. I'm not seeing it on my end, but who's to say? I'm closing down all unnecessary windows. Environmental Coffee House. Hello. Hello. Good to see you, my friend. Sandy, I'm not going to put pressure on you to do this, but there is a message in Discord if you're interested in joining the show. Just enjoy watching if you are, though. We are talking about making phone calls to four people at the DNC. Our goal is to get 10,000 phone calls. But really, we just want 40. We're just trying to get 40 from this wicked community. The goal is 10,000. I shared it on Facebook. Thank you, Donald James X. You're killing it, man. You are absolutely crushing it. Mr. G, can they actually bring someone up that is calling for a ceasefire when the head of the DNC is supporting Israel's genocide? Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. The problem is that we are a divided party right now. And I want to be clear, because I've said it a couple of times, but I think it's important for us to know. We're not going to succeed in actually getting them to put a Palestinian on stage. What we are going to do is show them how bad they screwed up by playing to the center. Constantly, they play to the least informed voters when their party is the party of the informed voter. Oh, honey, I'm a mess. I've been in my garden trimming trees out back, dehydrating stuff and processing. I'm busy, but thank you. No worries, Sandy. No worries. Oh, boy. Tamara Chance, spoiler alert, Oprah hasn't said a damn thing about the conservative book bans. That is depressing. Donald James X, at least they know there is a huge electorate that are pro-Palestine. They have to feel it. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. They need to see the 10,000 phone calls we are going to make and do the calculation. They need to say, those are 10,000 calls that could have been made on behalf of the Democrats. Those are 10,000 calls that could have gone out to voters. Those are 10,000 emails that could have been written, 10,000 potential door knockers. And what are they inspired to do? Complain about the Democrats. We got to change. We got to try to appease them. We got to try to win them over. This is political pressure. It's a little bit of pressure which we will constantly apply. This is the way to do it. Nina Canadian. I'm making kale chips at the moment, Sandy, and have been thinking about you. I don't know if Sandy has a recipe for kale chips, but I'm intrigued. That's one of the healthiest things I enjoy putting into my body. I like kale chips. All right, gang. I'm going to refresh this one more time. Let's see how we're doing. 7,337 leet. Actually, it's teat. Fitting. Tinkerbell, how to effectively weaponize introverted nerds. This. Yes, indeed. Gang, the goal is to get to 10,000 1,000 calls. Can we do it? I think yes, we can. What I'd love is for you all to let me know if you made the phone calls. You don't even have to use the link to come on stream. Although, if you want to come on stream, you're welcome to. If you want to come on stream just to brag about it, cool. If you want to come on stream to make the phone calls live, also cool. That's what I did at the top. It takes literally under 5 minutes. All you have to do is read the script 4 times. Is it 4 times? Yeah, 4 times. I'm going to read it once right now. Hi, my name is Jake. I'm a Democratic voter, and I'm calling to express my disappointment that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the U.S.-funded bombing in Gaza. I'm asking Representative Schumer, Jeffries, not Representative, Senator Schumer's, Representative Jeffries, etc., to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage and an arms embargo. Boom. Press the button. Hi, my name is Jake. I'm a Democratic voter. I'm calling to express my disgust that the DNC has refused to allow a Palestinian speaker to talk about the U.S.-funded bombing in Gaza. I'm asking the representative to join their colleagues who have already called for a Palestinian speaker on the main stage and an arms embargo. It's that easy, gang. It's that easy. I'm telling you. Well, Morbius Dragon, with the very kind, gifted What You Can Do membership. Thank you so much. Oh, that's lovely of you. Ooh. All right, quick kale recipe. Dehydrate and make kale chips. I did at the beginning of the year, and I got 4 bags. Oh my God, that was my munchie. Lovely. Thank you again, Morbius Dragon, for the What You Can Do membership. We're trying. We're trying. Huh. I do not know how gifted memberships work, but I'm going to find out today. Tinkerbell, I did it. It's very easy. Yeah, it's the easiest thing in the wide world of sports. All you got to do, sign up, give them your phone number. They'll call you, and you answer that call. And you show the Democrats we are a force to be reckoned with. I highly recommend it. Morbius Dragon gifting to myself is getting crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, Morbius Dragon, you're going to enjoy some fine content. I'll release a members only video. In fact, F it. I'm going to release a members only video right now. Won't make any damn sense, but I'm going to do it. Bum bum. Members only. All right, that's released. Gang, while we are here, what I'm trying to do is ensure that we hit the goal of 10,000 calls. We're trying to call DNC leaders and pressure them to put a Palestinian speaker on stage. Now, let me pull up something else. This is totally unrelated, but we got Nina Canadian here, and I think she might appreciate this. David Dole. The folks over at the True North Eager Beaver podcast brought to the world's attention recently a very strange thing. I'm going to show you here. So it's important to note for context here, Canadian conservatives are exactly like U.S. conservatives. They never do anything decent for their constituents or for anybody, really. They constantly lie. They constantly use fake patriotism to manipulate their voters. And David Dole, this is also the True North Eager Beaver podcast, brought this up, but David Dole also talked about a recent ad released by Pierre Poliver, talking about, well, you'll see. It was cut in a way that I would expect the Republican Party to cut something.
Party of Canada deleted a campaign video shortly after sharing it, and I got the video. So I'm going to share this with you and discuss the clear reason, I think, as to why they deleted it. But their reason for deleting it, for me, isn't the reason that they should have deleted it. The reason to delete it is because this video is so goddamn bizarre. So first, credit here to Rachel Gilmore for bringing this to my attention on Twitter, saying ratioed hard and deleted. Tragic. Guess you could only go so hard on the hyper nationalism before people notice something they couldn't quite, with a white, put their finger on before. Now, I don't even think this is, to be clear, I don't think this is the reason, even though the campaign is very white, but what's new? There's another clear reason as to why I believe that they deleted it. So that's how it looked before it was deleted. Tom here on YouTube posted it, so he was able to grab the video and share it. Let's watch this together.
And it's easy to forget what home and hope look like. So let me paint the picture of school children, boys and girls, being welcomed by their teacher at the front of the school as they walk in to learn about reading.
All right, I should pause there. So this is filmed in Serbia. You're gonna see the pattern here. A lot of the stock footage used, not from Canada. And it becomes incredibly weird because there's some footage where it's like, oh, our beautiful mountains, and they're not Canadian mountains. It's just stock footage from another country. So yeah, I got a lot of examples coming up here, but I think this is the main reason they deleted this video. Even though the reason to delete it is because, I mean, first look at this loser. Come on. This is who.
Yeah, first of all, that's the real Pierre right there. So the fact that he's wearing the cowboy hat is incredibly just fake of him. But separately, and I know I got Canadians watching here. What's the deal with the cowboy hat? That always struck me as a very American thing. And not just American, but Southern American thing. Like, we don't really wear them so much in Michigan. What's the deal? Do Canadians frequently wear cowboy hats as well? Enough to the point that it makes sense for Pierre to be wearing one? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it seems like he's trying to like ape American faux patriotism. Not even real American patriotism, but goofy ass American non-actual patriotism. Like the kind of people that say they're patriots but have a rebel flag, the motherfuckers, a slaver flag, those kinds of folks.
Who Pierre Polyev is. You're not fooling anybody, guy. Like what? This makeover, and it's after years and years of, I think there are fair criticisms of Trudeau and being too polished, and his speeches are just mind-numbing at times. But to criticize someone else for being, too polished, and then to go through this massive makeover,
Good point, AC Western,
and have the cowboy hat on top of that, it's just so incredibly, it's so forced, it's so fake. Like these people that complain about career politicians, Pierre Poilievre has been in Parliament since his early 20s. The only career he's ever
in
known.
Alberta. Fair enough.
So this makeover is not fooling anybody.
Writing, arithmetic, and our proud history. Before walking in the door, though, they look back at Dad in his pickup truck who's dropped them off. He rolls down that suburban street with his window.
Okay, that's from an American suburb, so filmed in the USA. So we're clear on that.
Down that suburban street with his windows open, in the school zone, driving slowly so that he can hear that beautiful crackling sound of hammers pounding nails.
Wait
into
a minute.
Canadian lumber.
Okay, before I even give context of the clip,
Yeah.
his windows are down so we can hear hammers cracking nails into Canadian lumber. What the fuck?
Okay, so Dole here is talking about how the B-roll that they used is all from like American places, and
It's easy to forget what
well, it's like from American places and like Serbian places, and ironically, I mean, I've used B-roll in like of Canada in my own productions, and all you have to do is say, "Give me something from Canada." B-roll website. There's lots of it. Not surprisingly, it's a massive country. But anyway, the strange thing is, maybe I saw the wrong thing. That doesn't appear to be the cut of the commercial I saw. That one looked much worse. I mean, the Serbian kid, all that. I'll play for you guys the original commercial, or maybe it's the new cut they released. I'll play for you guys the cut of the commercial I saw, and you let me know if you think the B-roll is actually from Canada. You guys just let me know.
it's easy to forget what home and hope look like. So let me paint the picture of school children, boys and girls, being welcomed by their teacher at the front of the school as they walk in to learn about reading, writing, arithmetic, and our proud history. Before walking in the door, though, they look back at Dad in his pickup truck who's dropped them off. He rolls down that suburban street with his windows open, in the school zone, driving slowly so that he can hear that beautiful crackling sound of hammers pounding nails into Canadian lumber on newly built and affordable Canadian homes. When he gets to the gas station, he fills his tank with affordable and lower taxed Canadian-made energy. He makes his way out into the countryside where he's going to go and service a well, and he looks out his windows and sees those big, prestigious barley or canola fields, the combines out there doing their work, the cattle grazing on the countryside, producing the best food from the best farmers anywhere on earth. And he looks up, and what does he see? He sees a brand new fighter jet. They're doing a training mission in the sky, getting ready to defend our home and native land. The same plane is soon seen from a university campus where kids are hustling off to class, maybe a bit late, having just procrastinated on that university essay, knowing that when they get to class, they will have the chance to debate freely and fearlessly without worry of being censored. Later in the day, that whole family of the student, that welder, the kids, moms and dads come together for a big family celebration because it's been 10 years since one of the adult kids in the family has been sober and overcome his drug addiction. And they gather around the table to have a big, beautiful dinner to celebrate some wonderful venison that was shot with totally legal Canadian firearms. And they sit and they talk about their beautiful past, but even more so about their optimistic future. And as the little ones conk off and it's time to take them home, Grandma and Grandpa see them off to the car, and the car leaves the driveway, and they turn and they look west. And what do they see? They see wheat, foothills, Rockies, and a big blue twilight sky. And they look each other in the eye, and they say, "We're home." These are our people. That is our country. This is our home, your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home.
All right, so maybe I have to issue a retraction. That was clearly all shot in Canada. What a wild time to be alive. There's no way. If the earth still exists in 20 years, there's no way our children and grandchildren will believe us when we tell them how goofy this era was. Good God. 7,445 out of 10,000. Oh, Elaine, thank you very much. Ooh, Donald James with the Godzilla poll. I've been listening to the band called Oxygen Destroyer. The band's premise is all about Godzilla and his enemies. Yeah, the Oxygen Destroyer bomb is what killed Godzilla. I am quite familiar. Is that Pierre? Yeah, Pierre Poilievre. I'm not trying to make fun of French names here. I'm sorry. Pierre Poilievre. That is he. Thank you, Nita Canadian. I really do want to edit in the Godzilla roar there. And we say, "Brrr," would be hilarious. His speech is so bizarre, like who wrote that? Yeah, that is a creep's attempt to be sentimental. And venison, which was shot with totally legal Canadian firearms. Was that the Goonies? Yes. I saw this from AC, and I'm curious. He reminds me of that Dan Aykroyd character from Tommy Boy, where he's completely slick and disingenuous and says, "We make parts for the American working man because that's who I am." Intriguing. I haven't seen Tommy Boy in a while. I'll go look again. Gang. Oh, Morbius Dragon. See you, my friend. Te amo you too. Woo. Jake, would you ever be able to come visit Western New York? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to give you my cell phone. Text me in a little bit. I'll try to get out soon. Oh no, Pinkerbell. Bambi's mom does not approve that message. Neither do the folks from Auschwitz. That footage I used was from Schindler's List, something that I feel Polyev watches in reverse to make himself feel happy. Elaine, by the way, apparently Saturday afternoon there's a pubcast. I will be far, far away Saturday afternoon, but I'll be listening because I love the pubcast. I think I want to have a big camp out party next summer. Ooh, I tried this year, but I could not get it together. Let's do it. That sounds rad. Everyone would be invited? Yes. Yes. That sounds fun as hell. Gang, I got good news for you. 7,792 calls made. Well, listen here. We're going to check back in with this. I've made my pitch to you. I hope everybody's used the link in the description to call the number in order to influence the DNC. We are going to be covering it tonight on WYCD Wicked. I hope you all will join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been Jake, and this here is Donald James X.